This is a Husky truck stop in New Liskeard. I left Cochrane this morning, so it's 2 hours south. And last time I was here, diesel was $1.06 Canadian per liter. Now it's $1.10. Now for our US friends, $1.10 per liter Canadian equals to $3.07 US per US gallon. But also I noticed that my DEF meter was, I don't like it when it goes less than 50%. And so I asked them about, like, they don't have DEF at the pumps here. I said, how much are those jugs that you sell? And the girl says, $22 Canadian. And I said, you must be kidding me, right? I said, it's 1 gallon? And she says, yes. I said, what? It's like 4 liters and you charge $5 a liter? Oh, I don't, I just work here. I said, I wanted to buy 2, but you know, I said, okay, I'll just buy 1. Like, what a ripoff. And then I go and I manage to put it in, and it has that stupid flexible hose, and it's like minus 20 Celsius outside. And oh, now while I'm parked, I can do a quick, just stand by for the beep. Yeah, I love you too. Okay, now we can go. Hold on, where's my setup? Setup, units, temperature, F. Okay, so now my temperature is in F. It says 47, which is total BS. It's basically the truck is facing the sun. It's more like 5 or something, or 0. Anyway, very cold. So struggling with that hose, I said, screw this. So I got that little, you know, thing that you use to put gas in your tank if you're stuck on the outside of the road, and put it in. And then I look at the jug. It says 9.45 liters. So actually, it's more than 2 gallons, because 1 gallon is 3.7 liters, right? So it's actually, wait a second, that's like even 3. How was I calculating? Stand by. Okay, so 9.5 liters divided by 3.78. Oh, that's 2.5 gallons. Okay, then it's not too bad. So 2.5. So $22 Canadian times 74. That's US. So $16 divided by 2.5 gallons. So it's $6.5 US per gallon of DEF. Like, is that an overkill or what? And I've been driving here and thinking about all these new trucks, right? And I'm really leaning, you know, back towards the pre-emissions truck. You know, forget this. Like, let the government pay this, you know, or split it. Now they added another tax, and now our fuel in Canada here became more expensive. So basically I need less DEF and I need better fuel mileage. And the only way to get better fuel mileage in an operation like mine is to go pre-emissions, which is still legal until 2021 here. And probably someone is building Peterbilts, but so far I know one guy. So we back to square one. And out of the 3 trucks he's offering, Argosy, Coronado, and Western Star. I don't like the look of that Coronado with those 18th century round lights, but Western Star would be okay with the pre-emissions Cummins. And I'm not sure what he puts in the Argosy. I would prefer a big Cummins again. Like a friend of mine that was just telling me that his friend has a 2004 Volvo with a Cummins, no DEF, nothing. He just put in 1.5 million miles, not kilometers, miles. 1.5 million miles, no overhaul. The truck still looks, the truck still works great. He just, you know, does the regular maintenance, and his Volvo is one of those bigger ones, 780, Volvo 780. But he just does regular work, not heavy haul. But good comments, you know. Before emissions, it was good. So I'm gonna talk to this guy. But I'm still meeting the Kenworth guy tomorrow to talk about the emissions 2018 Kenworth T800. I can probably just another version is just to spec because that's the biggest tank you can get. My DEF, that's 23 gallons. That's the biggest you can get. So probably just ask him to put 2 of those. You know, I'm thinking 2 DEF tanks and super big, like I had on my International, 150 gallons on each side. And some people might be surprised by the size, but when you have such big tanks, you know, let's say instead of 23 I can have 46 gallons of DEF. What happens is that when I'm down south in the States, where everything is so much cheaper, including Russian vodka, which I'm not sure why I remembered, but I can just fill up both tanks, you know, and then I don't have to spend $6.50 per gallon on DEF in here in the north, you know. And that's why you see, if you guys ever go to Australian websites, you know, you can check out like Western Star Australia, or, you know, Freightliner Australia. And some guy just sent me through messaging on Facebook, he sent me pictures of their trucks, mostly Kenworth and Western Star, and I noticed that all of their trucks have humongous fuel tanks, you know. Because why? Because first of all, of course, there's a shortage of fuel over there when they travel in the desert long distances, but they have dual tanks. Like they have 2, what looks like 150 gallons on each side, so it's like 600 gallons of fuel, you know, those big road trains. So that's what we need here in Canada. I'm gonna start boycotting Canadian fuel from now on because it's so ridiculously expensive. Because they want us, first I'm paying DEF, now they want me to pay this carbon tax, and there's no escaping this. Like, you see, some guy was saying that, oh, I don't want to buy a pre-emissions truck because now they're going to be a carbon tax. But they don't care what vehicle you're driving. If you need diesel, it's now 7 cents more expensive per liter, which is like 20 cents per gallon, which is what, 15 cents US per gallon more. Doesn't seem much, but you know, it all adds up, right? Sorry for the rant, but I think with the way the government is pulling this quick one on us, I think the only way to go is pre-emissions, you know, well, you still can. I just left a truck stop, I think it's Petro truck stop in Diamond, Ontario, which is just a little suburb north of North Bay, Ontario. And then you have this big hill, no trucks allowed in the right lane. And far in the distance, that's the lake. So here, as you can see probably on my tablet here, but I'll just show you guys the typical Canadian north. And this is not too bad, but it's 4 hours north of Toronto, so 240 miles. And why they want trucks in this lane here is because at the next intersection, this highway, it's still Highway 11, but at the next intersection I gotta be in the left lane to turn left. Now we see what is it, 4 kids with mom, all wearing Arctic clothes, because you can see how much snow there is here. And this is like a big shopping area here. They have a bunch of stores somewhere. Oh, I think further down. What do we have here? Global Pet Foods. Oh, Sobeys. Okay, yeah, Sobeys. That's a big grocery chain. And then I got Staples. If you run out of those. See? Some kid sent me a... I got excited. I thought somebody wants to buy my truck from US. Some kid sent me a email. Oh, sorry, I'm not a buyer. I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to find your truck. I watch your YouTube videos. I'm 13 years old and I often go to Truck Paper to check out trucks, and I found yours. And I made up a reply. There, you see the sign says 11 south, 17 east. These two lanes. So I gotta be in the second lane from the right. Because we don't want to injure any freight brokers or Mac engineers that are trying to turn from this lane. I think downtown is that way. Oh jeez, look, the asphalt is just... It's like somebody took a bite out of it. And so yeah, I wanted to respond to this kid, say, you know what, watch the movie Big with Tom Hanks, and then come back when you're 18 or 17 and buy my truck. Yeah, these guys had lots of snow over the past few days, but at least it's warmer. Well, my thermometer in F now says 13, which is probably true, which is probably like -10. But I know, I just talked to a guy from Cambridge, this independent trucker. Oh, actually, he's from St. Catharines, but he went to Cambridge on a business. And he wanted to invite me for a lunch. He thought I was already home. Now look, what is that? Canadian Tire, gas station. Red numbers are self-serve gas, $14.9 per liter. Diesel is 103.9. And the last time I fueled, as if you saw the previous segment, I paid $1.10 because, you know, I like to pay my share of taxes to the Canadian government. I don't think we pay enough. They can increase them further. Crazy. I just got off the phone also with the Western Star guy. We were fine-tuning the spec, and I said, you know what, if I end up buying a new truck without emissions, I said, I want to have the biggest fuel tanks you can find. And he said, well, the biggest is 150 gallons. I said, that's what we gotta have then. Can we have a bigger tank for DEF than 23 gallons? He said, no, that's the biggest one. I said, how about 2? Give me 2 DEF tanks. He says, I guess I'm the first to ask that question. He says, my guys here with the Detroit, he says 123 gallon tank lasts them up to 8,000 or 9,000 miles. I said, what? My Mac just drinks that DEF like it's nothing. I said, okay, I like Detroit. I said, leave 1 tank. And then I asked him about Cummins, even though he was like, oh, you don't want Cummins. I said, okay, I just want the numbers. Just tell me the same Western Star setback axle. If we put the same 560 horse, 2050 torque Cummins in it with extended warranty,
which will be more expensive, like the package, engine plus extended warranty. And he did his numbers for like 15 minutes, because turns out, you know, the warranty is pretty complex. It's a separate warranty for emissions, then it's basic, standard, extended. Anyway, finally we figured out, so the Cummins still would be about $3,000 more with extended warranty than Detroit. I said okay, and then we keep the Detroit in this spec. And then I said, let's change. I said, I don't want to argue about this. I said, just personal preference, just put 20K on the front with big 425 tire. And I said, change the transmission from RTLO 20913 to RTLO 22918. And for those people that don't know, the two last numbers represent the number of gears. So I said, basically, let's do a 18 speed versus instead of 13. Even though I don't like it, but I'm pretty sure with the big engine it's gonna work better. And the first two numbers, very important, they show the torque, the maximum torque that the transmission can take. Like if it says 2913, that's a 13-speed transmission rated for 2050 torque. And 22918 RTLO Eaton is a 18-speed transmission rated for 2250 torque. And I learned this little trick from Pittsburgh Power guy over there. He was saying that they always buy this. This is the strongest transmission you can buy, and I think it's gonna be, you know, it's more durable, it's heavier built, even though it's more money. But I think, you know, transmissions, you always use, like manual, right? You always use them. I think it's a good thing, and better for resale as well. Okay, 1.1 kilometer, we're turning left. What? I guess I better be. I don't think we're turning left. It says we're staying left on 11 South. Look at this guy. Oversized load, because his skis are in my lane. Like the way he parked that, what is it, like scooter on skis?
In 400 meters, keep left to continue on Trans-Canada Highway, Ontario, 11 South.
That guy is ready for anything. So basically he keeps driving because it's good pavement, right? But as soon as there's too much snow on the road, he just puts that Ford on the trailer and he hooks up that scooter in the front. Brilliant. Alright, and this is where the freeway begins. So it's a full lane divided highway, so Uncle Sergei, you can finally forget the nightmare of Detroit Lake gold mine, and we can drive at 100. Jeez. Kilometers an hour, ladies and gentlemen. We are flying. And for our American friends, that's 62.15 miles per hour. My home is still 4 hours away, 240 miles. And it's 2:30 now. I'm not sure. I'll probably have to shut down somewhere just north of Toronto, and it's too many miles. I'm not in a rush, except that I have to see this Kenworth guy at 10 o'clock in the morning in Cambridge. guess you're wondering, the speed limit, that's what I'm driving. This is the speed limit here. Nobody's breaking any rules here. Except maybe that guy who's straddling the line. This is like Christmas picture, you know, all these huge evergreen trees covered in snow. And we're not in the backwoods, right, because of the freeway. Now things will keep moving. Sorry for the dirt on the windshield. I cleaned it like 2 or 3 times with a paper towel and a rag, and my little tube there that sends the washer fluid is frozen. It works on the other side, but here it's frozen. Welcome to Canada in January. I'm Sergei DRATCHEV, somewhere between Toronto and North Bay on Highway 11. Stay warm.